It's the Thursday edition of Weather for Weather Geeks here on February the 26th. So we're heading towards the end of the month, and it's in the bag. We're going to have the coldest February on record here in Youngstown. Here's some statistics from the National Weather Service in Cleveland. Posted this on Facebook and on Twitter, or maybe just Facebook this morning. Here's Youngstown, of course, down here. Average temperature so far through the 25th, 14.4. Before all is said and done, our average for the month will probably be 13.5, easily breaking the old record of 15.2 set back in 1934. So it'll be the coldest February on record, and also of interest here, this will be the second coldest month of any month on record here in Youngstown. The coldest month on record, January of 1977, and the average temperature that month was about 10.5 degrees. So we won't be in that neighborhood, but we'll have the second coldest month of any month on record here in Youngstown, and the records go back to the late 1800s. So, of course, it's been just a remarkable month. All right, as I record this at about 2 p.m., we've got some light snow, as expected, across the region. Temperatures are cold. This snow will have no trouble sticking to, well, especially car tops and sidewalks and non-paved surfaces. It's light enough that, I'm looking up at our weather camera, and most of the main roads, I think, are doing okay. Now, the snow is somewhat heavier in parts of Mercer County and Lawrence County, so even on some of the main roads, you might have to watch out for slick spots over here. But in our Ohio counties, boy, the snow's awfully light, so I think you'll be fine on the main roads. Just watch for a few isolated slick spots on the side roads, on your driveway, on sidewalks, that sort of thing for the rest of the day today. Let's look at the visibilities. Up at the Youngstown Warren Airport, 1 mile visibility. Ravenna, 2.5 miles. Akron, Canton, about 1.5 miles. Newcastle, 3/4 of a mile. I like to look at the visibilities when it's snowing because that's a good indicator of how hard it may or may not be snowing. So that 3/4 of a mile visibility at Newcastle does suggest that the snow is a little bit harder, or a little bit heavier, I should say, in Lawrence and into Mercer County. All right, so this is going to fade away then as we head towards the end of the day today. Take a real quick peek at our computer models here. Bring up the NAM for the rest of the day. It's not really catching on real well as to the extent of the snow, so let's look at the HRR, the High Resolution Rapid Refresh. Skip forward a few hours here to, let's see, this would be 4 p.m. The steady snow starting to push away at that point, reserved for the I-79 corridor. Now you could still see some residual flurries back here in Ohio for the rest of the evening, then into the overnight. Here's the middle of the night tonight. Models printing out a little bit of real light snow here. I think the snow showers are going to be definitely waning as we head through the overnight. A gradual decrease in clouds later on tonight. Going to be a cold night tonight. Let's talk about wind chills here. Here's tomorrow morning on the GFS model. Projected wind chills. Now, these are probably a touch too low, but still gives you an indication of it's going to be a cold night tonight with brutal wind chills by the morning. You're seeing some minus 25s printed out here. I think in general, minus 15 to minus 20 will be the general range we're in for wind chills tomorrow morning, so that'll probably be good enough for a wind chill advisory from the National Weather Service, and that means that a lot of school districts will probably have some delays tomorrow morning. Again, I will say, in case you have missed it the first few times, I don't make these decisions. They don't ask me. I don't have a hand into these decisions. These decisions about school delays are made by school administrators, and they are certainly not my area of expertise. So tomorrow morning, some tough wind chills. Saturday morning, the temperatures will be colder. The wind will be dead calm, but actual temperatures Saturday morning in some of the cold spots, we're talking about minus 20 again. We've had several mornings like this. Record low temperature at the Youngstown Warren Airport in the bag Saturday morning. Wind chills, even with a 3 to 5 mile per hour breeze, will get down into the 25 to maybe 30 below range. So a couple of tough mornings coming up. Friday morning and again Saturday morning. All right, we want to talk about the weekend then. Saturday's a tranquil day, so we're going to skip past that. And we're going to talk about what's going on Sunday, because things are, looking pretty interesting with yet another snow event on a weekend. Let's skip ahead to Sunday morning, first day of March. Here's the setup. We've got mixed precipitation back in here. We have our area of low pressure. Let's bring up the surface analysis here. Area of low pressure, real weak one forming out here along the front. So you've got a frontal boundary snaking through here. And again, this is first thing in the morning on Sunday. I think this is going to be weighted towards the midday and the afternoon as far as the snow. Probably not first thing in the morning. So here's Sunday midday. The moisture running into this cold air, high pressure still situated off the east coast. That's the epicenter of the cold Arctic air. And so this moisture is running head on into this Arctic air. Now, when you have air this cold and dry, some of this precipitation might evaporate before reaching the ground for a time. But the atmosphere will moisten up, so as we get into the afternoon on Sunday, here's Sunday afternoon, we're starting to see some snow breaking out. We are pretty confident at this point that this will remain a snow event with little, if any, mixed precipitation. Here's Sunday evening. Zoom in on our local area here. GFS, if taken literally, would suggest there might be a zone of mixing down towards I-70, and at the very northernmost, maybe Route 30, but that might be a little bit too far north. So this is looking like mostly snow. Here's middle of the night, Sunday night, 1 a.m., still probably snowing at a pretty decent clip with mixed precipitation and maybe some icing going on down towards the Mason-Dixon line, down in here, and down towards the Ohio River. So we're looking at a pretty good dumping of snow, it looks like. The timing would suggest that the worst of this would be Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. Here's Monday morning. Drying trend from west to east, accumulating snow likely over with by about daybreak on Monday. And then we'll just be left with flurries. Then, as we go through the rest of early next week, we get a break as another high-pressure system builds in. This is Monday night into Tuesday morning. We're still dry, so the flurries wind down Monday morning. Monday night, Tuesday morning are fine, but then our old front, which sort of, kind of died or stalled down in here, is being lifted back north by an emerging area of low pressure out across the Rocky Mountain states. So the moisture is going to try lifting back northeast and attack this cold air mass once again. So Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night, things could start to get a little interesting again. It may not even wait till Tuesday afternoon. It might be more like midday. Now this might be more of a problem with ice. Sunday's system is snow. Tuesday, we might have to watch out for ice. This is only Thursday. This is getting into the longer range, so the confidence on the details are not there. But this is something we're going to have to watch out for during the course of Tuesday. Possibility of some sleet and freezing rain, if the models were to be believed exactly. And this is just the GFS. Other models have similar ideas. If they were to be believed at this point, we would see a changeover to rain at some point on Tuesday as our warm front lifts up here, our low-pressure system out here. So, to recap, Sunday, looking like enough snow to shovel and plow, and then a break Monday. Tuesday, we could have some problems with some ice. As far as snowfall amounts, you're going to see me put a snow map on TV this evening at 6 and 11. I have not drawn it yet. Here's a quick look at the European ensemble from last night. The odds of more than 3 inches. Odds of more than 3 inches worth of snow on Sunday. You get into some of these orange colors here, and you're getting up into the pretty high percentages, into the 70s and 80s for the percent chance of more than 3 inches. So that's looking pretty likely. A sneak preview for my weather geeks out there, because I love that you watch these videos. A little sneak peek as to what I'm probably going to draw and put on TV tonight, based on what I just showed you on the European and other models as well. We use a blended approach and we use experience. We're not just model worshippers here, but probably going to draw some sort of a zone of either 3 to 5 or perhaps 4 to 6, leaning towards 3 to 5. But a zone like that, that'll encompass most of our viewing area. And then you'd have kind of a 1 to 3 zone down here, closer to where there's going to be some mixing. A 1 to 3 or a 2 to 4, something like that. That would be mostly south of our viewing area. Right now, for most of the WFMJ viewing area, I'm starting to lean strongly towards a 3 to 5-ish kind of a storm. As always, I will preach that check the forecast often. These things are not set in stone. Forecasts are subject to change as we get more information, as storms begin to show their hand a little bit, and we always want to bring you the most accurate forecast, even if we have to make some changes. Real quick look at the long range. Some encouraging signs here. Going to warm up early next week ahead of that midweek system. Again, we might change over to rain Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night. So you see the warmth here. Then it does turn cold again at the end of next week. But then look what happens after that. A lot of our modeling, not just the GFS, which I'm showing here, but a lot of the modeling is pointing towards a decent, and all we want really is decent, that's all we're asking for, a decent period for the second week of March. Maybe some 40s. We're not asking for a lot. Just give us an above average day. Throw us a bone, will you, atmosphere? It's looking a little more likely that we'll see that as we head into the second week of March. All right, that's a long weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 6 and 11. Be sure and follow me on Facebook. Put meteorologist in front of my name, and I'm Eric WFMJ on Twitter.